Chloe Lane has come and gone from Days of Our Lives more than a few times over the years, so it's understandable if viewers have trouble remembering her entire dramatic history. Which is exactly where we come in. Chloe made her first appearance in November 1999, and has always been played by Nadia Bjorlin. After leaving in 2003, she made a brief return before coming back on a recurring basis from 2004-05. In 2007, Bjorlin brought Chloe back to Days, leaving again in 2011, but popping back in for a couple of brief stints in 2013. She also made an appearance for the soap's 50th anniversary in 2015. After another brief stint in January of 2016, Bjorlin returned on contract in June of 2016. But in January of 2019, the actress once again announced her departure. However, by August 2020, Chloe was back on the canvas again. After growing up in an orphanage, Chloe moved in with Nancy Wesley, who was later revealed to be her biological mother. A social outcast, Chloe hid her beauty behind frumpy clothes and glasses and was referred to as schoolgirl. After befriending Sean Douglas Brady and Belle Black, Chloe went to a dance with Philip Kyriakis and revealed her true appearance. Their relationship faltered when Chloe grew closer to Brady Black. When Philip tried to make Brady look like a thief, Chloe dumped him and began dating Brady instead. When she was diagnosed with leukemia, Chloe searched for her birth father and discovered it was Nancy's husband, Craig Wesley. But it was the birth of her sister, Joy, who provided the life-saving bone marrow transplant. After recovering, Chloe pursued her dreams of being an opera singer, leaving Brady behind. Disfigured from a car accident, Chloe let Brady believe she'd died. After he learned the truth, she underwent reconstructive surgery and they were married. Following the wedding, the newlyweds moved to Vienna so Chloe could pursue her singing career. They weren't always a happy family, but they took a nice picture. Jeff Getty Images. When Chloe returned to Salem in 2007, it was without Brady because he had become addicted to drugs. She tried dating Lucas Horton, but ruined it by cheating on him with Dr. Daniel Jonas. Chloe became engaged to the doctor but grew jealous of his ex, Carly Manning. Told by Vivian Alamein that Daniel and Carly were having an affair, Chloe slept with Philip Kyriakis and wound up pregnant. A paternity test indicated Daniel was the baby daddy, so Chloe kept quiet, but after Parker's birth, Caroline Brady revealed she'd switched the test and Philip was really the boy's father. Daniel dumped her, and Chloe slipped so deep into depression she attempted suicide. Philip was granted custody of Parker, but he moved Chloe into the Kyriakis mansion so they could raise their son together. But when a drunken Chloe ranted about taking Parker, Philip moved to Chicago with the child. Chloe tried to start a new life, but Kate Roberts hired Quinn Hudson to seduce her and blackmail her into prostitution. After being assaulted, Chloe fell into a coma, and when she awoke, she moved to Chicago to pursue her singing and hopefully reunite with Parker. In 2013, Chloe came back to tell Daniel that he was really Parker's father, hoping they could be a family. But he had moved on with Jennifer Horton, and a jealous Chloe blackmailed Jennifer into rejecting him, threatening that Daniel would never see Parker again. But Daniel figured out Chloe's scheme and exposed her, forcing her to run back to Chicago with her tail between her legs. She popped back to Salem to protest Daniel's engagement to Nicole Walker and then the following year to comfort Nicole after Daniel was killed in a car accident. Chloe and Nicole's relationship is complicated, to say the least. Jill Johnson / JPaStudios.com. Chloe had an ill-fated affair with Demos Kyriakis, and they revealed that he was still alive to clear Nicole of his murder. She also partnered with Philip in the music business, signing Claire Brady to her record deal. When Chloe felt ill, she feared she was pregnant with Demos' baby, but it turned out that the unborn child actually belonged to Nicole and Daniel, the result of an in vitro fertilization she hadn't realized had worked. Although she had agreed to act as a surrogate for them, now Chloe didn't want the baby being raised by Nicole and Demos. After Holly's birth, Nicole learned the truth and Khloe tried to explain her reasons. After a bitter custody battle, Khloe was awarded custody of Holly, so Nicole assaulted her and kidnapped the infant. Ultimately, however, Khloe agreed Holly should be with her mother and gave her to Nicole. Although she intended to open Club Khloe, a partnership with Julie found her co-owning Doug's Place instead. She also was kidnapped by a syndicate and after teaming up with Teresa Donovan, freed herself by stabbing their leader, Matteo, to death. She began a tentative relationship with Lucas but then found herself drawn to Stefan DiMera and was grateful for his protection when the syndicate came after her again. But with Stefan smitten with Gabby and Lucas no longer in Salem, Khloe opted to go to New York for a singing gig and said her goodbyes. In August 2020, Khloe resurfaced in New York City where she helped Hope, Sierra, Sean, and Claire track down leads on where Eve Donovan had gone. And by November of that year, she was back in Salem working at Basic Black and growing closer to Brady and Philip. When Philip's mob connections got Brady shot, Khloe helped nurse him back to health, which made Kristen DiMera, disguised as Susan, jealous. Meanwhile, Lucas told Khloe he had a brain tumor, but it was soon revealed that it was a lie to help get her away from Brady. Khloe was torn between two handsome, wealthy gentlemen. How terrible. XJJohnson/JPStudios.com. Ultimately, Kristen abducted her rival, and when Jan Spears stole the car and discovered Khloe in the trunk, Jan tried to force her to kill Claire, but in the ensuing chaos, Khloe was the one who got shot. No longer feeling any kind of loyalty to Kristen, Brady apologized to Khloe and wanted to pursue a relationship. However, she declared her intention to date Philip instead. Unfortunately, Philip's jealousy became a problem despite her reassurances, and the two men continued to fight over her. So when Khloe found Brady covered in blood and Philip missing, everyone feared the worst. Stay tuned to see what happens next. Ad block test, why?